Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Yes, we have another scanner review. So today we are going to be reviewing Otofix's D1 professional scanner. And yeah, I guess we should just go over the technical things first. I'm just going to read what is on the back. So, read and clear codes for available systems, display live data in text, graph and analog for easy data review, auto VIN technology, bidirectional control. You can do things like reset the steering angle sensor, reset oil and service lights, reset electronic parking brake, perform force regen and adjust injectors, register and reset a new battery, and supports battery diagnostics with a BT1 Lite smart battery tester purchased separately. So if you want to test your battery, you have to buy a separate device for this. Now, this is definitely not the most expensive scanner out there. It's not the cheapest. I'd say it's around average in terms of the capability of what this thing can do. Of course, we will be putting it to the test. Now, I've made videos like this before and people get really kind of upset that, you know, one of these isn't, 50 quid or whatever. When it comes to a scan tool, especially one that can cover a whole range of different cars that this thing can do, then you have to spend a bit of money. It wasn't, maybe 5 or 10 years ago, to get something like this, you would have had to spend like £2,000 or £3,000. So technology definitely has, come a long way. And yeah, the power that these sort of devices can hold is really remarkable, like I said, when you think of what we had sort of a few years ago. But yeah, I guess the proof is going to be in the pudding. We'll get in one of my cars and we'll see what this thing can do. Okay then, so we're in my BMW 130i now, and yeah, straight up, I guess we should get into unboxing this and seeing what is inside. So it's in a nice sturdy carry case. This is one of the things that you will get when it comes to a more premium scan tool. If it's a cheaper one, you might just get it in a cloth bag or whatever, but this is a pretty heavy duty case and looks to be well laid out inside. Wow, I thought it was going to be a lot bigger than this, if I'm being honest. It's like a mini iPad. That's very thin as well. Yeah, I definitely thought it was going to be a lot bigger than this, a lot more chunky. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. It's lightweight. It seems sturdy enough, it's kind of rubberized around the outside, so I'd imagine if you drop it, then it's not going to disintegrate upon impact. But yeah, I guess we really need to hook this thing up to the car and see what it's capable of. Now then, this device is completely wireless, I believe. So this is the dongle, whatever you want to call it. You plug this into the OBD2 port on your car. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. And as you can see, that is now plugged in, and I guess we have a green light to tell us that it is in fact connected. The engine is running, by the way. You don't need to have your engine running, you just need to have the ignition on, but it's a bit warm out, so we have the air conditioning running. Let's see what else we have in the box. So I think this is just a plug connector, and then we have a USB charging block, I believe it is. So of course you will need to charge this, so whether or not it's going to have battery straight from the factory, I guess we'll find out. That's always good to see. So we have a charge on this already. Otofix, your friendly consultant. Okay, so I would imagine that this is Android based. Looks very much so like Android, which I'm going to be completely honest, I'm not the most clued up when it comes to Android. I'm more of an Apple guy. Yeah, we have a search functionality. I guess we will go to the settings just to make sure that it is in fact connected. Okay then, so managed to get the Bluetooth device connected, so we should be good to go now. Okay, so now that we're connected, I guess we should first go to Diagnostics, and I guess we'll go BMW. Let's go manual selection, 1 Series, E87 of course. There we go. Just came up with all of the car's information. Yes, of course we could have just done this automatically, just would have scanned the VIN and found our vehicle, but I just wanted to show you can do it manually as well. See the car's voltage as well, 14.5 volts, which is perfect. Of course the engine is running as I mentioned. System data loading. Okay, so it does seem to be loading quite slow. I guess that is kind of one of the drawbacks of, you know, being completely wireless. So I guess if we did want to, we could always, you know, plug it in and not do it via Bluetooth, but we'll let it do its thing. There we go then, so it's reading the modules now. It took about a minute to get to this stage, so I guess not too bad, but yeah, like I said, it'd probably be quite a bit quicker if we did have this plugged in, and it'd be interesting to see if it detects all of the modules in this car. I know this is only a BMW 1 Series, but we should have around 15 or so modules. So yeah, I guess first we'll just go to Diagnostics, Control Unit. This is pretty typical. We'll just go to Drive, DME, read codes. No fault codes detected, which is good of course. Let's look at live data. Let's look at, this is interesting because of course this is, you know, this does have VANOS, so we can look at the variable camshaft timing for the intake camshaft. Let's just give it a rev. These numbers should change. Yep, there we go. That's pretty cool. We have a gauge there. I have no idea if this is accurate, you know, so for example if it's in the red that's bad, if it's in the orange that's not so bad, and if it's somewhere in the blue it's okay. I have no idea if that's correct or not. I'd have to look at the figures, what sort of angle they are supposed to be at. But that's, you know, that's a cool cool thing to see, I guess. Operational smoothness value. So is this going to tell us about the injectors? Yeah, it should. Yeah, as you can see all the injectors are fine. It's just got to be between -200 and 200, which yeah, they're all pretty much the same to be honest, of course fluctuating as the engine runs, but all well within tolerance. Valvetronic. Eccentric shaft actual angle and this specified angle, there seems to be a little bit of a discrepancy there. Whether or not that's still acceptable, I don't know. I guess again I'd have to look at the figures. But yeah, that's pretty standard stuff, what you'd expect to see on a scanner of this capability. Let's look on the CAS. Again, yeah, there shouldn't be any fault codes. I think I do have a fault code with one of the lights. I know that came up, so we'll come out of here, we'll go into body. It should be on the fit by module. Read codes. Yeah, there we go. So, right dipped beam faulty, left side marker lamp faulty, and number plate lamp faulty. That's interesting. I haven't really noticed them, you know, when I've checked over the car, so maybe they're just historic. So we will, I guess, clear them. Escape. That's our erase codes. DTCs and freeze data will be deleted. You sure you want to continue? Yes. Codes have been successfully erased. Okay. Yeah, very easy to do that was. Let's go to the hot functions. That's what I'm most interested in seeing. Throttle. Adjust idle speed, learn Valvetronic limit positions and idling quality. Idling quality won't really mess with that too much, but adjusting the idle speed and learning the Valvetronic limit positions is very, very handy to be able to do that on this scan tool. It's something you could typically only do in ISTA, so yeah, it's very handy to have. You can do things like brake bleed for if you need to bleed the ABS pump. Maintenance, I'm guessing this is going to be, yeah, reset all of the condition-based service data. I'm not actually going to reset anything because I've not long already done that after I gave the car a service. So let's go into manual oil reset. I wonder if this is the oil level, which if you know this car, you'll know that it doesn't have a physical dipstick, it's just on an oil level. So if we go there, as you can see, it's at the max mark. So I wonder if this is going to be to reset that. No, I don't think it is. Yeah, no, this is just for the that's just for the oil change reset. It's not for the, you know, oil level reset. You can only do that on the car, I guess. Cylinder compression pressure. So I don't get why they have this on a scan tool. Of course you're going to need a compression tester to do it anyway, but I guess if you have a digital compression tester you can see the figures on here, so I guess that would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, it's not really what you may think it is in the beginning. Odometer, yeah, you can just see the mileage. Okay, so these hot functions then, I think I have established that this is to you know, to do any servicing on the car. As I mentioned, you can bleed the brake or bleed the ABS pump, you can reset adaptions, you can reset the condition-based service information, you can adjust the idle speed, stuff like that. So that is all very, very handy to do. And bear in mind, it's not just for one car. So if you have a BMW like I have, and you're thinking, yeah, you can do all this on ISTA, but if you can do all this on, like, you know, pretty much any car you can think of, it saves you having to get different software for each and every manufacturer. So yeah, very, very handy to have this you know, capability literally in the palm of your hand. So now we're back at the main menu. Let's see if by selecting the service menu there's anything additional that we can do. So we have injectors. Of course, I mentioned we can code injectors. Yeah, of course we have to select our manufacturer and all the rest of it. It's good that we can do things like the clutch, because sometimes you have to relearn the clutch adaptions if it's something like an SMG. As you can see, voltage is no longer 14, it's now 11.9, which I know it seems a very, you know, small minor detail, but it's very handy to have that on here, because, you know, if you are doing any kind of diagnostics or coding work, you need to keep an eye on your voltage. Of course, if it goes too low, you could not only damage the battery or no longer be able to start your engine, but of course you could also fry some modules as well if you are doing some coding. So yeah, that's a nice little feature, that is. Again though, when it comes to loading the vehicle information, it does seem to take quite a while. So I think if I was to use this, unless, you know, there was nothing that I could do, you know, I was really restricted or something, you know, say for example I couldn't plug it in physically, or I had to have this out of the car or something, I think I would just probably go ahead and plug this in. which I'm guessing you do just there. There's one to charge this thing, and then there's one to plug it in via USB. And that one there is for a micro SD card slot, which I guess if you are saving any information or if you have any photos, you can get them off here. That's one thing this does have as well, an 8 megapixel camera, which is always handy. Okay then, so what are my overall thoughts on the Otofix D1? Well, I have to say I am impressed. I did not expect it to be this small in physical size, and to be honest, like, this can do pretty much everything that some of the other scan tools that I have reviewed, but they are much bigger and bulkier. Would I say it's any better than other scan tools that I have reviewed? Probably not. You know, there isn't really too much in terms of the capabilities that they can do. You know, when you're getting one of these scan tools, you really want something that can read fault codes, erase fault codes, and then, you know, have access to things like live running data, and, you know, be able to reset adaptions and things like that. Because if you are having to do something like reset adaptions, if you're going to a dealership, they may be charging you like £100 just to do that. So yeah, very, very handy to have a scan tool like this. If you do want to check this out, I will leave all of the links down below in the description box. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Otofix for sending this out to me for review. And yeah, I guess I'll see you all in the next one.